So that's where we are uniquely positioned to be able to help the brands to grow internationally also. But of course, Indonesia growth is also a very large opportunity. Plus, there is unlimited growth potential once you go outside of Indonesia also.
Discussion kembali hadir bersama saya Yeni Yusra, dan kali ini kita akan berbincang-bincang dengan CEO Yuna Brands, Kiren Tanna. Hi Kiren, how are you?
Hi Yeni, I'm very good. Nice to meet you and thanks for inviting me.
Yes, thanks for having me also. So you're currently in Singapore, right?
Yes, I'm based in Singapore, but we have teams in all over the region, including in Indonesia now.
So before we dive into the conversation, maybe you can share with us what is Yuna Brands?
So Yuna Brands, we started in 2021 with the one aim to be the Unilever or P&G of the online world. What we do is we build a portfolio of great brands through acquisition. So we acquire very good brands. Then we help the brands to achieve their full potential, grow to very large companies, and become much more popular brands, not just in their home country, but also internationally and globally. So that's what we do. We acquire great brands and help them grow into well-loved household names globally.
So talk to me about roll-up e-commerce. What does that mean? And is it the concept that Yuna Brand is introducing right now?
Exactly. So if you see, for example, in the last few years, especially in our region, right, in Southeast Asia and in Indonesia in particular, e-commerce has grown very rapidly in this time frame. People are adopting it as a very convenient method of shopping. And what has happened as a result is that many entrepreneurs see an opportunity to build their brands online. And in the last few years, you've seen many brands which have started off, especially with the pandemic, e-commerce has grown even faster. And so more brands are becoming much larger now. And that's where we see big opportunity to work with some of these brands which have grown to a certain size, let's say $500,000 or $1 million revenue, and then help them become much larger brands, and not just in one country, but international, within the region or even globally, become much bigger brands, become 20, 30, $40 million business. So that's the opportunity that we see. And the way in which Yuna Brands works is that we identify the brands which fall under our investment criteria, which is they should be sizable, they should be profitable, and have potential to grow a lot more. And then we acquire up to 100% of the brand. So we acquire anywhere from 51 to 100% of the brand, give immediate cash exit to the founders. So the founders get, as I like to call it, cash in the pocket immediately. So it's not investment in the company, but also exit to the founder to use that cash for also in some cases start a new brand, right? Which some of our brand owners have done. And we then work closely with the founder for some time, where we help to understand the brand, how to grow it, and start a lot of growth process before we take over the international expansion for the brand. We take over procurement, supply chain, logistics for the brand, and help the brand to grow to much larger size. So that's what we do, and that's how we have started off.
So what kind of products that you are aiming for? Is it fashion? Is it health, beauty products, or is it FMCG?
So far, we've focused on a few categories. So we have already acquired 22 brands now. These are falling in mostly home and living, personal care, wellness, beauty, babies and pets, and outdoors and sports. We are also in discussions with some fashion brands also. So that's a new category that we want to open because it's a large one in this region. So these are the main categories or main types of brands that we are looking for.
So you acquire the brands to get noticed globally, right? They're able to sell their product outside the country. What about the country itself? Do you nurture also the brand, like maybe in Asia, make it big, so more people know about the brands, or are you only focusing on outside the country?
No, so it's dual focus. It is, of course, there's huge focus within the country. Indonesia being such a large country and so many online shoppers, many brands have only scratched the surface, right? So even though you are maybe $500,000 or $1 million brand, you are still not reached to every single customer in Indonesia. So there's 10 to 20x growth potential even within Indonesia. So that, of course, we work very closely with the brands to unlock that growth. But beyond that, many brand owners that we have spoken to have aspirations saying, hey, my brand is already very fairly well known in Indonesia, but I have plans to become a global brand or a regional brand at some point of time. I want to expand to Australia. I want to expand to Singapore. I want to even, let's say, if I sell on Amazon in the US, right? Can you help me do that? So that's where we are uniquely positioned to be able to help the brands to grow internationally also. But of course, Indonesia growth is also a very large opportunity. Plus, there is unlimited growth potential once you go outside of Indonesia also.
So, can you can you share what is the SAM platform that offering the SAM service like you guys? Is it already available in Asia, or you can call yourself that you are the first to offering the service for Indonesian market?
So we are the first to offer 100% acquisition of company in Indonesia.
Right.
And we have already signed up with 2 brands who have agreed to sell to us. But we are actively looking for great brands in Indonesia. We have team on the ground, which is talking to many brands. We have at least 20, 30 conversations going on. And so we are hopeful that we are able to grow our presence in Indonesia much more and find many, many great brands and help the founders get a great exit, but also see their brand grow into much larger company.
Okay. So what are the challenges that you still have to face every single day in terms of awareness and customer acquisition, merchant acquisition? Is there still unfamiliarity from Indonesian market for this kind of services that you are provided?
Exactly. So many times the founders, when they start off as a service that they are offering or brand that they are starting, which is small. They are doing it as a side hustle.
Right.
And sometimes even doing it along with their job. And then some point of time it grows a bit bigger. Now they have to decide, should I quit my job, do this full time? It is already generating good amount of money for me, but I cannot quit my job yet. So what should I do? And even if you quit your job, once it grows a little bit, maybe you have to hire 2 or 3 people to grow the brand to the next level. So many times the brand owner or the founder of the brand is struggling on different aspects of growth. Many times you have to learn online marketing, you have to learn influencer marketing, you have to learn operations, which is also complicated for many of the first time brand starter owner to do. So that's when they approach us, and then they understand that we are the only ones which are able to offer not just investment to grow the brand, but also cash exit, that they can sell the entire brand to us, get millions of dollars in payout, and then be able to do something else if needed with the cash. In many cases, the founders choose to stay and grow the brand with us, which is also very welcome, and we share a lot of the upside of the growth of the brand with them as well.
Mm-hmm. So talk to me about the plan for this year. Is there some target that you still have to work on to achieve, or more brand? Most definitely, right? Is there any target for Una Brands in Indonesia for this year?
So Una Brands in Indonesia, we've just launched and we announced our launch at the end of last year. This year, we are planning to acquire more than 15 brands in Indonesia. We have set aside $35 million from our funding pool just for Indonesia to be able to acquire these brands and also to grow the brands to a much larger size. So we have very big plans to establish our business model in Indonesia. Indonesia, by the way, is also a very important strategic sourcing hub for us.
Okay.
Many of the brands that we have already acquired more than 20 brands outside of Indonesia. So in Singapore, Australia, US also. And so these brands, many times they are looking for certain beauty products, or they are looking for certain apparel products, which we feel that Indonesia can be a great market to source them for. So we have this dual idea of sourcing hub plus acquiring great brands in Indonesia. And a lot of the action will happen in 2022 and will establish us as leading player who is able to acquire such brands.
So talk to me about the coverage in terms of brand that you are targeting. Is it only in big city like Jakarta, Bogor, Jabodetabek, or are you also aiming for tier 2 and tier 3 city also in Indonesia?
So we are looking at entire Indonesia, including all the islands, including all the top cities. Many times the brands initially that we are speaking to, many times they are based in Jakarta, but we have also seen in other parts of Indonesia, even in Bali, there are many entrepreneurs who are working out of very nice Bali and building great e-commerce brands. But also in Surabaya, in all across Java, we are seeing different kinds of businesses being built, and we are open to acquiring all of them. Initially, we are seeing more of the brand owners based in Jakarta, and so that's why we are building our first team in Jakarta.
Do you think that the pandemic boosted the chance for the D2C kind of businesses to grow in Indonesia right now?
You are right. Pandemic has given a shot in the arm.
Wow.
To D2C in Indonesia.
Yes.
It was going already very nice and fast, but with the pandemic, it actually jumped even one level above.
I know. I cover a lot of D2C company in the last 2 years, and there's a lot, I'm telling you, and mostly focus on the health and beauty product, just like you said, right?
So mostly focus on health and beauty, but there are more and more brands coming up in home and living, baby segment. Baby segment is huge in Indonesia. Not so much pets right now, but also we are seeing some brands over there. Automotive is an important segment again in Indonesia.
Yes.
We've seen unique to this market. We think that it can also be automotive sourcing hub for us. And finally, fashion, of course, is always there.
Yes.
And many fashion brands are coming up.
So congratulations with the Series A funding recently from Alpha JWC. Any plan for the new funding?
So the new funding is we are very lucky to have someone like Alpha JWC lead our funding round, and they have actually, beyond what we have announced, they have invested even more in the company after we announced. So that shows that they are very supportive of the business. They also understand the Indonesia market very well, and so we are working very closely with them on our Indonesia strategy. The lot of the funding, as I've said, we have reserved for Indonesia. But we are expanding our business already to more than 7 countries, and the idea is to use the synergy between these countries. For example, we've just recently acquired a beauty brand in Malaysia. Now, one of our job in that brand is to launch that brand in Indonesia. So the fact that we are able to acquire brands in 7 countries already and sell in more than 50 countries globally means that we have a lot of good synergy that we have to execute this year between the brands. So that's something that we plan to do with our funding. There's a lot more funding that we are also raising, and we will announce a lot more good news in the coming weeks.
Looking forward for that, Kiren. So last but not least, Kiren, what is the tips for the brands that willing to get acquired by you guys? Is there some kind of what kind of brands that you are targeting right now? How can they are approaching you guys?
So we are now in Jakarta, and so we have been in Jakarta. Kevin Indrajaya is our head of acquisitions country manager from Indonesia. Please feel free to add him on LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram, wherever. He would be very happy to speak to you. We are also, from our side, we have a large list of brands that we know are very good in Indonesia. So we are one by one contacting all of them and assessing which ones will be great fit for us. Our process is very simple. So within a few days, less than a week, we will be able to give a very quick valuation number on what the brand could be worth. If you sell to us, that's the cash exit you are able to get. And also within 2 months from signing the agreed terms, we are able to close the deal in Indonesia. So that's something that we are uniquely bringing to the market, a very, very smooth process. In terms of the brand who are looking to sell to us, I think if you are doing anywhere more than $500,000 revenue, US dollars revenue annually, if you're a profitable brand, please get in touch with us. We would love to work with you.
Okay. Thank you very much, Kiren, for your time, and looking forward for more updates from Una Brands. Of course, the new funding also, if you can share with us very soon. Hopefully, right?
No, we'll. Hopefully that is very soon. And thanks so much for inviting me today, Annie. It was great speaking to you.
Yes,
Thanks, and
me
wish you all
too.
the best.
Okay, I'll let you get back to work then. Okay.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very
Take
much,
care.
and see you soon. Okay.
All the best. Bye-bye.
Bye, Kiren.